Good afternoon everyone. My name is Visha Nelson and I'm the founder and the designer of the Cinnamon Room. Today I was going to take you through our next Pockets of Style video where I'm going to show you how to choose art and how to hang it. We have lots of clients that come in to view and look at our wonderful range of rotating artists that we're showcasing, and currently we're showcasing Deborah McKellar of Talking Textiles. This is one of her pieces of work, Moon River, and a lot of the time people have a little bit of difficulty in choosing the right piece of artwork, and if they do, how to hang it. So I thought it might be useful to you guys for me to take you through some top tips of the process of picking and hanging your art. So the very first tip that I'm going to show you is look at the scale of the wall. In our showroom, in the back wall, you'll see that there is quite a large span of space, and automatically you would naturally think, let's put one big piece. Now this is a 94 by 94 piece, and that's the dimensions of this piece of art. And it does look good, but I feel personally it still feels a little bit bare when you've gone for one big piece. So when you're looking at the scale of it, if one solitary piece isn't doing what you would ideally like to fill up that wall area, I would suggest doing a series of artworks. Now, how do you combine your series of artworks? You can choose a common theme. You could choose the sizes so that they are complementary to each other, or you could choose similar framing. So I'm going to show you an example where all three are achieved on this one wall to show you the difference. So we've got one piece here. Here I'm going to add snuff bottles, which is another piece by Deborah, and I'm going to hang it alongside here. Now this piece is also 94 by 94 centimeters. Okay, I don't think that's entirely straight, but let's give it a go. And then we've got Peranakan Peacock, another piece by Deborah. Now you can see, oh sorry, thought that this might happen. Bear with me while we try and get it upright. Okay, so you can see now with the three pieces hanging, that's not straight at all. With the three pieces hanging, the common theme here is the architecture. So it's a shophouse scene. And this is something that we did, this exact pairing that we did for a client who was looking to hang artworks above his super king size bed. So he had a big blank wall. He'd originally come in for Moon River, and when we looked at the dimensions, it just seemed that it looked too lonesome and it needed something on either side. So we paired together, and I said, why not do a series of artworks? We found a common theme, which is the shop house, and then we found the similar frames, so we had all three framed in the similar champagne silver, and we then looked at the colorings. So here you can see that there are lots of red tones here. This doesn't have any red tones, but the red tones are then just balanced out here as well. You can see in the flora and the fauna that is used in this piece of artwork. All three feature a shop house in Juchiat along Kung Sing Road, and you can see that how by just putting the three alongside, the wall looks a lot more complete than it would just having one solitary piece. So the idea here, going back to the tips, is getting the scale right. Now for a big wall, the scale of this definitely works better, and two, we have achieved the scale by having themed artworks, by pairing a series of artworks together. I'm going to show you variations. Now, if you didn't want to go for something quite so large, I'm going to take this piece off now, And we're going to show you what you can do with smaller pieces of artworks as well. So we're taking this whilst I have this up. This was actually done by Deborah as a series. Now we don't have the right string to hang these up, but you can have a look to see that these three pieces paired together also make a really fabulous collection. So if you had a wall where you needed the artworks to finish off the space, always consider a series if one piece isn't quite sufficient. I'm going to strip the wall down, and then I'm going to put three different pieces all together. So here we have the smaller version of Moon River, and I'm going to pair this alongside here as one of the pieces. Okay, now the next one I'm pairing, it's got a different frame, but what is similar is the theme of the artwork, and that's a shophouse scene. Okay, and the third one is also a shophouse scene in a champagne frame. Okay, so when you look at these three together, that's a bit crooked, so let me just adjust that. You can see that the wall now looks a lot more complete. In terms of scale, I would say for this wall, the 74 by 74 piece is definitely a lot better because it's not overwhelming the wall. We have this aircon vent up here, so our height is not all that high. You might have something similar in your home where you've got a vent on the top. So when you're hanging the artwork, still always leave a gap between the ceiling and where the artwork is hung. So common question is, how do I hang it? Is it the eye line that I'm looking at? Now, as Chrissy, my colleague, had said earlier today, she's, how tall are you, Chrissy?
5'4".
She's 5'4" and her husband is over 6 foot. So the eye line is completely different. So I would say, have something, look again at the scale of the wall and leave a gap from the ceiling where it's still in your natural eye line. And while I'm describing this to you, let me take you to this part of our showroom. Now here, obviously in your home, you're not going to have rugs hanging on either side, but you might have a bookshelf perhaps on either side or different pieces of furniture. Centrally, there's a gap here, and to frame this area above the sofa, we've placed one large piece, a 94 by 94 centimeter. There's a beam that goes across. I haven't done the height in relation to the ceiling, but in relation to the beam, so there's enough of a gap. If I pushed it too far up, it would hit the beam and it wouldn't look quite right. I'm also going to similarly show you now another piece that is hung where it's just one solo piece. And this is Urban Jungle, another piece by Deborah McKellar, showcasing the Singapore skyline. And if you look over here, how have I placed the art? It's above my eye line. There's a gap to the ceiling, but also very importantly, this piece of art is framing our console table. So I've done it central to the console table, and I've considered what is it that I am placing at the on top of my console table and then leaving a gap here as well. So it doesn't look too cluttered. If I'd done it too high, it wouldn't look great with this. If I'd done it too low, it would look really cluttered because it would all be coming down. Okay? Now, if you've got a very sort of thin wall and you're looking to perhaps have pieces of art, a series, you could go for a long portrait style rug, and you will see, a long portrait style artwork. And these two pieces, you will see, they encompass this wall really nicely. We've done something similar with the small pieces, the 36 by 36 pieces of art. And this makes, when you've got small pieces, they look really lonesome when they're just on their own. So a great idea with smaller pieces is to create a series. if you're trying to create a memorable space, come along with me. You will see that having a series of artworks works really well because it then fills up the wall and gives it character and makes it a little bit more memorable. Now, framing options we talked about. Here, the same 3 shop houses, but this has a silver frame, this has a silver frame, and the middle frame is the white frame, which is different. But I would put the different frame in the middle so it's centralized and then it's balanced out. So always think balance and symmetry. I often talk about this in my styling workshops of how if you've got things which are different, how you can still make it work by just positioning it correctly. So here we've got the similar theme. I'm going to show you one last example, and that is where we're going to change the artworks. And I'm going to put a thematic, this is a botanical theme. So it's not the shop house, but it's by the same artist, so the style is very similar. And here you can see that the common, it's similar style of artwork, but you've got the theme of shop houses, botanical shop house. I'm going to take the 2 other shop houses down and show you what I would pair these, and we quite often do this for our clients. So you're not sure which ones work together, and we can help you by giving you suggestions of placing different pieces together. So this is another botanical theme. If you have a look, in a different frame in the champagne. This is a botanical theme as well in the champagne frame. So this is another series of 3 that work together. The common theme being botanical. And you can see you've got the flora, the featured flowers with the batik, the bird cage. Here, this piece is called Jungle Batik. And you can see with the birds and the ferns. And here again, another gorgeous piece by Deborah. These 3 paired together make another great series. So we've talked about themes, we've talked about framing, we've talked about heights of how to hang them. Always consider what's below, that you don't want to have it too cluttered, and what's above, that you don't want it so high that it's almost beyond your eye line and leaving a gap from the ceiling. It is very much a personal preference and how you have your furniture styled in your home as well. But when you're thinking of mixing and matching, it doesn't all have to be a perfect match. You can make things work where you are tying in the frames or you're tying in the themes of the artwork. So if you've got any questions or you're wondering how you can make it work, feel free to drop us some pictures of your walls. Look online to see all the different options that we have for Deborah's artworks. They're all Singapore-inspired artworks by this fabulous multimedia artists. And we can pop into our showroom to see the entire collection, and we can help you pair the correct pieces together. We'll even help you do, if you've got a space with a blank wall, just give us the dimensions of one piece of furniture in that room. Photoshop the images so you can see what it could possibly potentially look like in your space. I hope you have found these tips helpful. I'm always here at hand. Our team at the Cinnamon Room is always here to help you choose the right pieces to enhance your design scheme and make your home that memorable, characterful space that you enjoy being in. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.